Start.
Welcome to Broadway Blitz. We're a group of people who want to talk about New York sports, and we're brought to you by CCS.
Brought to you by CCS.
So, as some of you may know, the Giants were eliminated from playoff contention on Thursday when they lost to the Cowboys, 27 to 20, going 2 for 10 and getting the first overall draft pick again. However, the Raiders lost on Friday to the Chiefs, 19 to 17, which puts us in danger of not getting first pick for the draft.
Um, I don't know. I feel like that there's going to be quarterbacks available throughout like the first 10 picks. I believe that we're going to have a few other options if we don't get the first overall pick. I think that Cam Ward obviously is a good option. I think right now our main target is
Mhm.
Dear Sanders, but
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're going after Shador for the most part.
Has to be. For now, yeah.
yeah, I mean it's clear that we weren't gonna do anything anyway this season. It was very clear. I mean, we
Yeah.
came in the season with Daniel Jones as quarterback. That wasn't
hmm
gonna.
Yeah, and Joe showed deciding that instead of let's pay Saquon, let's instead pay Daniel Jones his overpaid contract for no reason.
Yeah, but I will say this: our Tyrone Tracy has been looking good, especially
He
for
has
a
been.
rookie. I
Yeah.
think that he. I think that it would be just as much as like getting him for 1 million instead of like having Saquon for 17 million or whatever his contract
hmm
is.
That's
The
true.
value you're getting him for is just crazy.
I do feel like we drafted a pretty good rookie class. Like Neighbors and Tracy have been putting in a lot of heavy work. It just sucks that they don't really have a QB who can connect with them
Yeah.
as much.
And now
hmm
that Dexter Lawrence is out for the year,
Yeah.
that's gonna be brutal.
I
For
saw that, but that's also going to help us tank because I know that he's one of our best defensive players, and having him out will help us lose even more. So we can
yeah, but it
we go
still
250.
sucks. He was on pace for a defensive player of the year type season, and that's
Yeah,
just completely out the window now.
hmm
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Leeds just doesn't value interior linemen as much as the other positions you see on defense. That's just how it is with a lot of these awards, kind of like MVP. They'll it's very unlikely a lot of the time. You'll see like the non-quarterbacks like ever being like some sort of consideration, which could change this year, but it's usually just how it is with the
yeah.
NFL.
yeah.
Right now, the defensive player of the year, it was Dexter Lawrence generally did have a good shot at it, but they're
hmm
probably going to go with TJ Watt again or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, TJ
probably.
Watt has been good for the Steelers. I wouldn't be surprised.
hmm
All right, so what else really is there to talk about with the Giants?
Yeah,
Uh, I just can't wait for the season to be over. That's
We
really
can,
it.
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Nothing else.
we can
Honestly,
go
if there's
over
a
some Joe Shane. Is that how you say the name? Joe Shane draft
It's a
picks.
shame. Yeah.
Some of his draft picks.
Let's not do that. No,
Yeah, that's not.
it's important to talk about it because it hasn't been great.
No,
yeah,
it has not.
I mean, you
I've
could
heard
say
that
this year was, but not really other years.
his own son can make calls better than him. I'm pretty sure he said he wanted like Jaden Daniels or something when his dad didn't want that.
hmm
Why? You have inside
Just wasn't
sources
working
there?
out.
Speaking of
Unfortunately,
New York
just
teams, how do you feel about the Jets this season? I feel like they've been abysmal, and I think
I
they're just
think
waiting for the
there.
season to be over.
I think the Jets are. I think what I'm about to say. I think the Jets are like having an even worse season than the Giants. Which on record that's not true, but I'm saying this because the Jets had their highest
they
expectations
did.
since
They
Yep.
the
were expected to make
21st
the wild
century.
card at least.
They couldn't even get that.
Yeah, I think there's just a thing that they banked way too much on Rodgers. Like, yes, he's been a good quarterback throughout his career. I'm aware of that, but I think there's just the fact that since he's old now, like it's not worth it to try and put your effort into like one old quarterback and try and build around him. Especially when you should be looking at like younger talent who can last more years. Because if we're being realistic, I think Rodgers might actually retire after this year, and if not this year, then definitely next year. Because he's what, like 40 now. Like, there's no way he can keep going.
He's not going to keep going.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be on the Jets. I don't know where he's going to be. But Woody Johnson has stated that he doesn't want Rodgers on the Jets next year.
It's not happening. I mean, I
Yeah.
just got a report saying that he's not expected to play for the Jets next season. I think realistically, it's probably just going to be retirement for him, but if he does go to another team, it's definitely not the Jets. It's gonna
Yeah.
if he does stay, like
Who knows? If
he's gonna
they
leave.
don't get
Yeah.
a quarterback, I'm thinking maybe the Vikings.
Maybe, but they already got.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, the Vikings follow the roots of Brett Favre.
Hmm.
Mm,
That would not be what I expect, but honestly, it would just be funny because obviously what happened with Brett Favre, it would be a bit unexpected, I'd say, but I think he's just gonna retire. He should.
yeah. So, how are you guys feeling about how the cat trade went down? Do you think we won the deal, or do you think the Timberwolves won the deal from that?
Um, Anthony, you want to start with this?
Okay. I don't really follow basketball, and that's why you asked me to start with this because you're being a dick right now. Yeah. But I'll just say from what I hear from friends around me that watch basketball, it's been a good trade so far. That's just what I hear.
Hmm.
Yeah. From what I've seen with the Timberwolves, they're struggling a little bit to stay on 500 pace. Like, there's a lot of people saying they might make the play in this year at most, but I think what hurt them and what helped us a lot was the fact that since we got Cat, like, Cat was an important big man for them, and there was a lot of chemistry between him and Anthony Edwards. So to see that severed is hurting the Timberwolves a lot, and also Cat has really been balling out here, which I could not be happier about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's looking great for us. DiVincenzo has been struggling. I think Cat has been putting up the better numbers than Randall. I think the Knicks are just a more well-rounded team with what they have right now.
Yeah.
And I know there's been like some inconsistent performances. Like, we saw the last game against the Hornets without LaMelo Ball, we barely escaped with a win. So
Mm.
that was definitely it was a win that like kind of felt like a loss. Like there was definitely need for concern, especially with the other trade we made, Mikal Bridges. But I think for the most part, for if we're just talking about Cat, it's been a great trade for us.
Yeah. I think as long as the Knicks can stay healthy this year and as long as there aren't too many crazy injuries like last year, I think the Giants can make a pretty solid run, maybe make it to like second or third round, like ECF maybe. But I have a feeling that if they had to play against like the Cavs or the Celtics, that would be a real issue for us.
Hmm.
Well, didn't we beat the Cavs last year in the playoffs?
We did.
No, that was the Celtics, I think, who beat the Cavs.
No, we beat them first round, 2023.
Oh, wait. I thought
We're
you were
not
talking
talking
about
about
the
last season.
2023
No, no,
20.
no, no. No, we're talking about the 2022-2023 season
Oh,
in the
okay. Yeah, yeah,
playoffs.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we did beat them in the playoffs. I thought you were talking about this year. Never mind.
All right.
Hmm. All right, so
Well,
what else is there to talk about, Matthew?
So also the Rangers snapped their losing streak yesterday with the
Hmm.
Canadians when they lost for like 5 games straight, and they just cannot find their stride.
Hmm.
right now, what I think is the problem with the Rangers is just their like communications. Like I think that's sort of an issue.
Yeah,
It is.
I've seen that Truba's really struggling. Like he's struggling to put
Yeah,
in goals. He's
Truba.
struggling to really like have any sort of output, like any production. And because
Rangers
their captain,
Twitter has completely turned on Truba. Yeah, they don't like him.
I didn't like him last season. I don't know why we brought him back. I knew he
yeah,
was going to be another disaster. He's
I
I
didn't,
don't know
horrible. I
why.
don't like him.
I don't know
I
why
didn't
they
like,
made him captain.
I don't
It's
know
a
either.
stupid decision. I don't know why.
I didn't like it when he elbowed Rodriguez in that the conference final for the playoffs last year. You remember when he elbowed Rodriguez and he got like a penalty and it was debatably like a major penalty, but they made it a minor
Hmm.
penalty.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
that's kind of what Truba does. He's known for like dirty hits, and
Yeah,
that's really it. He doesn't really
Yeah,
do anything else well.
he doesn't. He's a very lackluster player. It's just I'm not a fan of him. I
And
don't know why we brought him
I
back,
think the
and
Rangers should have
probably
dumped
be
him
it for
last
him.
year.
They should have, yeah. I don't know why, but it'll probably be his last season regardless. No matter what the outcome is, I think this is it for him.
yeah.
No, I
I
don't
don't think
think
he's got a future with the Rangers. Nobody really seems
so.
to like him.
Yeah, I think that he's a bad captain. He's not really that good of a player, and I just really don't think that he's a player you want on your team, especially to be the captain.
Yeah.
Right.
So I know you're an Islanders fan, Anthony. How do you feel that they're doing this season?
It's nothing more than I expected. They're probably gonna sneak in the playoffs as the last seed, get like overtime losses, points, and use that to get into the playoffs, and then they'll probably lose them. Yeah, no, it's going to be nothing new. I think that they're kind of stuck in the twilight zone. Like, they're good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not good enough to do anything beyond the first round. I think at that point, we should just blow it up, really. I mean, we're not going to do anything, if you ask me. I mean, Barzell is injured. That's bad for the team. I think that I just think that they're gonna be stuck in a bad place for a bit. I just think they should just blow it up and rebuild.
Hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
So like I haven't like really been following the Islanders a lot. Obviously, like I say hockey's like my fourth sport I follow. Obviously baseball, football, basketball all ahead of that. Only like team I've really been following are the Rangers. So like I'm not really familiar with how the Islanders are playing this season, but I do check the standings a few times. I could kind of see like where you're coming from, but I do kind of like I feel like I can kind of relate to my Rangers team if they continue struggling against another, first, second round exit, even maybe no playoffs. I think it would be kind of a similar situation where we might just have to like blow it up or trade the key pieces.
I don't
And
think they'll miss the playoffs.
I don't think we'll miss it, but I think like what I said, if it's like another, first, second round exit, with expectations we have going into the season and how where we were like last year, I think it would be maybe smart to like just kind of blow it up because it's
I
just
wouldn't
it's
say
happening
blow
too
it up.
much.
I would say like just get rid of some like key waste players. Like get rid of Truba, get rid of.
Oh, that's gonna happen. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
We know that's gonna happen. But I think it could be more than that. But Truba could just be shipped off maybe even before that. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Honestly, we should probably keep people like Jonathan Quick, Alexis
He's gonna
Lafreniere.
retire. Quick's
Um,
like old. He's gonna retire probably.
so in that case, if Quick's going to retire, then we should definitely keep our efforts on Shesterkin and then also Lafreniere. Lafreniere has been like one of the few players who's actually been doing stuff on offense when it comes to scoring
Mhm.
goals and things like that.
Well, I think we did extend him. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was like a true source, but I think most people are saying we extended him for 8 years. I don't know if that actually happened. I kind of forget.
Okay.
But I think Lafreniere is here to stay for the long term.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
He's a good player, and I'm glad we have him.
Hmm. What else?
All
You
right.
want to talk about
Uh, how are you
what
guys
else?
feeling about the Yankees in the offseason? What moves do you think those guys will make?
Oh,
Right now, I will say the biggest move we got to make. We all know what this is. It's re-sign Juan Soto.
I'm too
We got
nervous
to
to even
give
think
him a
about it.
bucket load of cash, get him back
Hmm.
in the Bronx for the rest of his career. If we want to be back in the position next year we were in this year, it starts with bringing back Soto.
For sure.
Right now, the Yankees should be a bit afraid from the Mets right now because Steve
Really?
Cohen has a lot of money. He just doesn't know how to spend it. But
Hmm.
if he wants him, he'll put in a good offer, and that's something we gotta be afraid of.
Yeah. Honestly, if we're being realistic, I don't think the Dodgers are going to be too much of a threat because they already have a right fielder in Mookie
Yeah,
Betts.
no, they're not. I think they're just being used for leverage. I don't think they're
Yeah.
gonna be. Yeah.
And I
Hmm.
think there's the thing as well that the Dodgers, they know that they can get whatever the hell they want, so they might use that like as a threat because obviously they've been able to get Blake Snell. They'll probably get a few other guys throughout the year as well, like the offseason, because from what I heard as well, they signed like an $8.3 billion deal with Spectrum, I think, to televise their games. So they're pretty much loaded. They can do all these deferred payments, and it's not going to bite them in the ass because they're going to be able to pay off these players later because the
Well, yeah.
contract lasts to like 2038, I think.
Well, the revenue they're getting from Otani alone is enough to pay off his contract. I think they made
Yeah.
like something around like $800 million in revenue based just from Otani. Something
Yeah,
around those numbers.
he's been bringing a lot of hype to the sport, especially since he went to the Dodgers. Like I know a lot of people knew of him last year, but like I feel like a lot more casuals know of Otani since he went to the Dodgers.
All right, back to the topic of the Yankees. I think that if they do re-sign Soto, I think that they have to do a few more moves. Like I think they have to go get a first baseman. I think get a second baseman if we don't let Torres go. I think maybe get another arm like Jack Flaherty or Walker Buehler. I think that maybe another bullpen arm like Tanner Scott from the Padres. I think that would be pretty
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I think hasn't Flaherty shown interest in joining the Yankees potentially?
Yeah.
He has, yeah. We were rumored like back.
Yeah,
I think like
we were
back in
also
the
very
trade
interested
deadline.
in him in the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were. I thought a deal was going to get done. It was close, but it just didn't go through, and
Mm.
obviously
Dodgers
went to
snagged him.
another team like the
Yeah, the
Dodgers.
Dodgers
But
snagged him.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance we can get him this offseason, or maybe like another pretty solid pitcher.
Yeah, we'll see.
And the bullpen, maybe we'll get somebody. I think those are like the needs other than Soto that the
Yeah.
Yankees need to address
I
if
think
we can
there's a
also
thing.
re-sign him.
I think there's a thing with the bullpen. The only player that I know is for sure going to stay with us is Weaver. Like, I'm pretty sure we're going to let go of Holmes. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what's going to happen to
Hmm.
Tim
I
Hill. Like,
think
I'm not
Holmes
sure.
is going to sign with the Mets. I think that would be a very Mets move.
It would
Yeah,
be to overpay for him as well, like usual.
that's true. How are you guys feeling about Jazz since we got him?
I liked him in the regular season, but in the playoffs he just didn't show up. But that's a
Hmm.
common theme if you're a Yankee. So
Wasn't just yeah, it just wasn't Jazz. It was like it was too many players on the Yankees we needed to like rely on, and that was the issue. There's just too many of them that couldn't show
Yeah,
up when it mattered most, like Aaron Judge and a lot more than that.
Verdugo as well. Like, I feel like the only two players that
well,
like
Yeah.
I feel like the only.
Verdugo, Verdugo's gone after Verdugo's gone this offseason. He's not coming back.
Yeah, I doubt
Hmm.
he.
I think
I
Dominguez is going to take his spot in the outfield, and that's something a lot of Yankees fans have been waiting for.
Hmm.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
nice to not see him in the minors all season like he was this year.
Hmm.
What's it called as well? I think there's a thing that, from what I saw with the playoffs, the only two players that were very consistent when it came to hitting were Stanton and Soto. So
And where did Jacob go?
I don't know. I think he just turned off
I'm
his
here.
mic.
I'm here.
But
Yeah, I'm here.
no,
It's just
like I was saying
disconnected.
before, though, I think like Stanton and Soto were the only ones who had like very consistent hitting. With the fact that they were constantly hitting homers, they were constantly hitting doubles and singles as well, which were very important for running people in. So I
Hmm.
think
I
there's a thing
think
that
Torres had a good season, had a good postseason.
yeah, Torres was pretty good from what I saw.
Garrett Cole pitched well in the postseason, like usual.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Volpe was
Good.
honestly pretty solid. Like he could have been
Yeah,
better, yes, but
Volpe
he had
was.
a pretty good postseason.
Yeah, Volpe put together a very good postseason.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think since he's still young as well, like he'll have a few more years to develop with us, and I think he'll really be something. Same with like how there's Austin Wells and Luis Heel. Like it's nice how the Yankees have a lot of young talent right now that we can really develop and make greater than they already are.
I think
Yeah.
that Volpe, while his bat is still not, ideal, his glove is probably at the top of the league at his position at shortstop. He's one of the best defensive players, I think, in the league. And
Yeah,
that's
there's
really
very
what
few.
makes him so valuable.
There's very few drops from him, and I've noticed with a lot of people in the MLB, like they're waiting to pounce on him. Like when he drops a ball, they're waiting to just like pounce on him and start talking shit about him, which just shows how
Yeah, I
like
mean,
it just shows how much people are watching him.
that's just because of the uniform he wears. That's only because he's a Yankee.
Yeah, pinstripes are very vilified in the league. Same with the Dodgers. Same with like the
Same with any
Phillies.
team that has money. Same with any team that wins and has money and actually spends it.
Yeah. So like a lot of AL Central teams are going to be jealous because a lot of them don't have that money to spend because like Cleveland doesn't have the money, Detroit doesn't have the money.
I
Like
fucking hate Cleveland fan base. They're
I
always
know.
talking shit. And every
We
time
beat
we
them every
play
time.
them, we fucking smack them. I mean,
Every time. Even in
that's
basketball.
not even only a baseball thing. In
Yeah.
any fucking sport, New York sports spanks Cleveland and they're always fucking talking trash.
yeah, that's
You're
true.
right.
One of our only wins this season is to the Browns for
Hmm.
football.
Yeah.
I have
So
a
they really
friend
have
who's
no
a
room to
Browns
talk.
fan.
It's
I tortured him after that game.
hmm they're very annoying, and I mean, like, at least get some wins against us if you're gonna like talk this much. But
I mean,
it's
yeah,
just
this
funny to
Yeah.
see.
team hasn't won a World Series, and I'm pretty sure it's over 100 years.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I think the last time they won was like sometime in the 20s or something like that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they had their chance in 2016, but then they choked that away to the Cubs.
They're literally the Mets of the American League. They literally have been a poverty franchise for years. They're known for blowing leads, and they're always talking trash. That's literally the Mets version of. That's literally the Mets version of in the AL,
Yeah.
the American League. That's
Yeah, I mean the Mets do talk trash to us, but at least they have a valid claim to the fact that they swept us this year. Like in the past, maybe they might not have had such a valid claim, but this year, I think there's a thing that when we faced them both times, they looked a lot better than we did, and we were slumping, especially since we still had J.D. Davis,
Yeah,
I think.
that was nothing more than they just caught us at a very good time to play us.
Yeah, because they played us in what, like June,
We
July-ish,
had
when we were like at our lowest.
we had J.D. Davis and Jahmai Jones. Yeah, we had those two guys in the lineup at the time. I don't really
That was
think that.
abysmal.
Yeah, that was not an ideal time of Yankees baseball.
Yeah,
It was
I
really
mean,
not.
the good thing is that since we don't have them next year, even if we do slump, I can't imagine it will be half as bad as that June and July because that was completely terrible. Like I
That
hated
was
being a Yankees fan
horrible.
during that
Yeah.
time. It was just ugh.
I'm going to throw this topic back a little bit, but if we do not re-sign Soto, I think that there's a lot of moves we have to make. I think we have to. I think we should get Bregman. I think we should get a second
Yeah.
baseman like Willie Adames. I think
Hmm.
we should sign an outfielder to replace him, like Santander. I think that if we want to, if we lose Soto, which would be the absolute worst case scenario for us,
Yeah,
Hmm.
we have
Yeah,
to gear it up. We have to get we have to get as many we have a lot of positions to fill.
for
yeah.
sure.
I think even with like starting pitching as well, we can strengthen that a little bit if we don't get Soto by trying to go after Corbin Burns. I think that would be a good option.
Uh,
It would. I think so. What I was gonna say is this. What do you guys think about Christian Walker as a potential option for first base?
for a first baseman,
Hmm.
he's a bit old, but like if we could like sign him on like a 2-3 year deal, I would be all on board for it.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
could probably be like the next Rizzo because I know that Rizzo's kind of old as well, but he did a decent job.
I wouldn't say decent, but I mean, in the playoffs he was solid. But I think regular season he has injuries. He had like his struggles
Yeah,
before
He
that.
hasn't been the same since he got that concussion
Yeah,
when
I think he's
Haskins
pretty much
hit him
done.
in the head, and we
Hmm.
decided to wait a month until we put him on the IL. That was
yeah.
Hmm.
stupid. Yeah.
I think with Rizzo as well. I think within the next couple of years, like it is really time for him to retire because he's just not the same player that he was like when he was on the 2016 Cubs, for example.
All right, bit of a change topic, but where do we think Rizzo is going?
I really don't know, to be honest. I don't know who's
Yeah,
gonna sign him.
I
I
think
think
it's
he's
really
going to
hard to
go back
tell.
home to the Cubs.
That would be good, honestly. I think that's best for him.
Yeah, he'd be able to be a hometown hero and just live out his glory days, like the last of
Hmm.
his baseball days with his old team. That wouldn't be too
Yeah,
bad.
I think that's probably his best option, to be honest, to go back
Yeah,
to where
What happened?
he's known for.
What happened to that core three is pretty sad. Like
It
Bryant,
is.
Baez, and Rizzo,
Hmm.
they
yeah,
all just left the
Baez.
Cubs and fell off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Baez is so washed now. Like I saw, funnily enough,
Oh,
that the
he's fucking
Tigers.
terrible.
he
Yeah, the
is.
Tiger. The Tigers actually did better when he was put on the IL. That's how bad he is.
Yeah, and he's getting paid like I'm pretty sure 180 million. Hold on, let me check. Let me look it up what his contract is.
Oh my god! So he really is the baseball version of Daniel Jones.
But he had good seasons to back it up. Jones doesn't really have that.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, the one I guess
Yeah,
good.
it's 6 years, 140 million. Yeah, that's
That's
fucking.
No,
crazy.
I guess the one like good season you could say for Jones was in 2022 when we got that playoff berth
It
beating
was
beating the
average,
Vikings.
average season.
To
Yeah,
his standards, it was good.
by
Yeah.
his standards, it was like insanity.
Mhm. All right, so you guys want to talk about anything else? We think we're good for today.
Uh, let's hold on. Check that.
I think next week we're gonna have a lot more to talk about. Like, playoffs are closer, college football. If you guys want to talk about that, we got some conference
Oh yeah,
championship
actually,
games.
if you want to talk about
There's
college
gonna be a lot
football
to talk
now,
about.
if you want to talk about college football now and just see like how things are going, like we could do that too.
I mean, we could save it for next week. You got the conference championship games. Playoffs will be more like
Who knows?
finalized, so I think this will be better.
Maybe by next week, some more free agents have signed.
Yeah, that's
Let's
true.
hope. Yeah, let's hope for that to happen.
All right, so I think that's pretty much it for now.
I think that's it. Thank you
Yeah,
guys. Good job.
yeah.
All
All
right.
right. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Yep.